Hey, Vinny Melkus Outdoors. Appreciate you watching this. I'd appreciate if you'd like, subscribe, do something to help me out here. But anyway, some more news has come out about cheaters. We'll talk about that here in a second. But first, before we get into that bad news, I would like to congratulate Arizona's own Josh Bertrand for winning the U.S. Open, which is historically held on Lake Mead. This is the first time it's not been held on Lake Mead. Held at Lake Mohave. Amazing smallmouth fishery. They also have largemouth there and stripers. Amazing all-around fishery, really. I mean, you could go in there and catch. There's good catfishing. I'm sure there's good sunfish fishing, crappie. But watching the weigh-ins, I mean, it got pretty interesting. You could see the emotion on Josh's face when all is said and done, when he was on that last scale, and I think it was Spencer Sheffield was sitting there, and you could see the pressure on his face, what that tournament does. Like I said, I've loved the U.S. Open, and it's one of the quintessential bass fishing championships or open, whatever. It's a giant thing. It's the biggest thing out west, and it's amazing. And just the feeling of being in contention in that thing is unbelievable. And the format's unique. It's just an amazing venue. Usually Mead, but Mohave, but it's still amazing. You see big names. You get a chance to compete against those type of guys. The Josh Bertrams, the Clifford Perches, the Spencer Sheffields, the Rick Cluns. They're all there, fishing for big money. And it was amazing. And going into the cheating thing, I heard, this is rumor mill, I don't know for sure, but the Division of Wildlife, I can't remember if it was Nevada or Arizona side. I mean, I could see the Game and Fish there doing it, but they were actually inspecting some of the fish or checking them out. I know there's a number of dead fish. It kind of happens in the summertime, unfortunately, because we want to protect the resource out there as much as we possibly can. But they were inspecting, they were there. And I've seen them there before in the past, even before all this stuff happened, because there was a cheating incident at one time in the U.S. Open a number of years ago. But anyway, so let's get into this thing, because I've done other videos on it. So we have actual indictments from the dudes that were in that walleye deal and stuffing weights, 8 pounds of weights in a walleye. So I got it here. This is from the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas. Criminal Division. This is State of Ohio versus Chase Kaminsky and Jacob Runyon. I got it pulled up right here. So they got 3 counts, and so you got count 1, cheating. All right, and did knowingly engage in conduct designed to corrupt the outcome of an athletic or sporting event. So in there, they seized the forfeiture of property. Happened to be in this one the Ranger Pro Fisherman his fiberglass boat, which they have all the stuff stipulated on there. They, how they split the trailers up, they got that on there too. And they label it as contraband or in use of committing a crime, or in particular one of these, they talk about how it could have been defrauded itself. It could be part of that. But anyway, here you got the second thing: attempted grand theft. Did with purpose to deprive the owner, Lake Erie Walleye Tournament, of money or services, knowingly attempt to obtain or exert control over either the property or services by deception, and the property or services stolen is valued at $7,500 or more and less than $150,000. So it's in between those two over whatever the number of years. I mean, they can actually prove or whatever's being brought up, or at least in this particular case, which I don't know what it looks like. These charges, I'd imagine they're just going after this case, but this is from the grand jury hearings. I'm just reading these off. The other one was possessing criminal tools. Did possess and have under person's control any substance, device, instrument, or article, to wit, and then it lists the boat with the purpose to use it criminally. Furthermore, the boat, I don't want to read all the numbers and everything, involved in the offense was intended for use in the commission of a felony. And it lists the statutes. So there you go. They got 3 counts. I don't know what exactly. Or here's a fourth. Never mind, a fourth. So there's a fourth one that I don't know how this quite relates. I said 3 counts, so axe that, but it was 4. So unlawful ownership of wild animals. And if you read on, did buy, sell, trade, or offer a part of wild animals for sale or transport a part of wild animals, to wit, walleye, in violation. So, to be totally honest, that one, I don't really know how that's going to stick on them or what they're going to improve. I know the other 3, pretty easy. That's what we're all pissed about is those other three and the reflection that it has not for walleye guys, not just for them. It sucks for them, but it sucks for all of us here in the fishing tournament community and bass fishing as well. I'm sorry, there's like a gnat come flying at me. So that's what it is. So there is going to be hopefully some justice in this, and hopefully establish a precedent. Like, hey, if you get caught cheating, you can have your whole life just pretty much ripped from you. Lose your boat. That boat's probably worth, that Ranger. Like, I don't think they give the year on 2022. It's a 2022. Yeah, it's on here. I can only assume it's a 2022 because I'm looking at the trailers of 2022. I saw the picture of their boat. Dude, that's like 80 to 100, probably $100,000 boat because those DVs are really expensive. That's forfeited, and more than likely it'll be seized and auctioned off. Maybe it'll serve a good purpose, and some walleye guy up there can get it at auction or something like that. But anyway, I don't know what I didn't look up the criminal or what they could possibly be, what their penalties could be. We'll see, because they'll probably get a trial by jury. Or we'll see what happens. I'm just telling you this is what the grand jury has said. This is what's come out. So it's interesting. Justice will be served, and hopefully, like I said, establish a precedent for the rest of the tournament community. But like I said, I wanted to start it off on a light note, and I wanted to also end it on the light note talking about the U.S. Open again, because it's one of my favorites. So if you're not familiar with One Bass, I want to give a shout out to Bass Cat, who supports. I'm not sponsored by them. We're actually looking at going more into an aluminum boat, but Bass Cat has supported the Western circuits now for a number of years, and they continue to do so. And thankfully for them, and a number of other sponsors too that have helped One Bass grow something out there, help the Wild West Bass Trail. But I always pick One Bass because, man, Billy Egan runs a great tournament trail. It's super awesome. It's fun to fish. I don't care where you're at in the country. If you can go fish one of those, it's awesome. The Arizona Open, Clear Lake. Now they got the Nevada Open, and then the U.S. Open. They're all fun. The format's unique. You meet great guys. I think I've only met like one real asshole in the whole entire time I fished those things. Everybody else has been super cool. And you can fish for big money. And it's usually just a great event. I've fished a lot of tournaments and other circuits, but to me, the One Bass stuff has just always been, I don't know. It's just a special place. It's a special circuit, and the U.S. Open especially is very, very special. And okay, the last note, what I really meant to say, and I totally spaced out. There was an 18-year-old kid that plays 4th place in the U.S. Open. Zach Brugge, I can't pronounce his name, but congratulations to that dude. That sparks his. That's what we should be celebrating. This guy, because he 4th place in the U.S. Open, beat out Chris Aldahan and a number of other guys. This is going to spark his life, man. This is right here. If he hasn't already had the fire, I'm sure he has, because he's fishing the pro side of the U.S. Open. But this really is going to be a catalyst for that kid if he uses it. So congratulations to him. And I know he's a little starstruck. I couldn't see him, but it's great to see that. It's great to see an 18-year-old do so. There's the usual suspects were in the top 20 there, so it's kind of fun to watch them. Payouts are pretty good, I know, for that kind of tournament. But like the reason I wasn't out there is mainly because for me, a payout, I'd have to win the thing in order to justify, because once you go out there and pay for hotels or whatnot, after the drive, with all the way gas prices are, you pretty much break even. So I had to take a break from it this year. Actually, I could have placed in probably the top 10 and probably been at least break even. But it just wasn't. Half these tournaments aren't. I can't justify it anymore until things become a little more reasonable. So anyway. I'll leave it there. Talk to you later. Peace.